The number one reason why people don't buy from you is that they don't trust you. Trust is a very important factor, and especially in the online era. Because in the physical store, I can walk in, I can touch the product, I can ask personally the seller who is standing there something about the product. I have a lot of possibilities. You don't have it online. You cannot touch the product. You cannot talk personally to somebody. So your most important task on a website or on the e-commerce store is to build trust to your visitors in order that they get to the point on their customer journey that they trust you enough to take their cards and purchase something from you.
Hello everyone, this is your host Manoj Tandon. Welcome to another episode of Dark Rhino Security, Security Confidential. Today we have another awesome guest. Before I introduce him, you guys got to hit the like and subscribe button because that's the only way we can bring this content to you. So show us a little love so we can keep getting these phenomenal guests from all over the world who practice their craft and are brilliant at it. And we have such a brilliant person with us today. We have Krisztian Kiraly joining us all the way from Hungary. So we appreciate him taking some time out of his late afternoon to join us. Krisztian is a specialist in AI-driven conversion rates. So those of you folks who are small, medium businesses listening to this, you're going to want to pay attention because his knowledge can be of value to you. And he is all about AI-driven conversion rate optimization, personalization. He works at the intersection of AI and behavioral analytics and digital strategy, helping businesses understand how artificial intelligence can predict user behavior and transform the way companies interact with their customers online. And there's probably not one of you who are not interested in your digital footprint. So this timing is very apropos. He's very engaging. He's a high energy guy and is all about education. So Krisztian, thank you for joining us. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm happy to be here today with you. Thank you.
Fantastic. So tell us a little bit about your background.
So originally, I'm a digital marketing expert for more than a decade now. I have started as everybody else as a freelancer. Then I have built up my own digital marketing agency here in Hungary, which I have led for more than 5 years. And it's very important to note that it was a full stack digital marketing agency, because regarding digital marketing, I believe in holistic approach. Okay. I mean, there is, of course, possible to focus only on particular areas like only email marketing, only PPC, only SEO. And you can, of course, achieve quite good results with it as well. But to my opinion, to my experience, the biggest impact can you achieve in digital marketing when you manage all the areas together, aligned with a central strategy, and then it works together in synergy. And there you can have the biggest impact, the biggest results regarding your digital marketing efforts.
It's interesting you say that because in the process engineering world, there's a saying that optimization of each individual process does not lead to the optimization of the whole. And it's mathematically absolutely true. If you're and you're talking about optimization of the whole. So making every component work together in a cohesive, realistic way. Now, one thing our listeners are going to come back with, because there's a lot of small and medium businesses, they're going to think, oh my God, digital marketing, that's the domain of Madison Avenue in New York, or, we need these big firms, big, huge budgets, Super Bowl ads. There's all these ideas that go into people's minds. Can you help break a little bit of those myths? I mean, do you have to be this monster company to be able to do these things?
So I would say that actually exactly the opposite is true. That I think that if you use digital marketing correctly, it could be the tool, it could be the leverage for small-sized and middle-sized companies to compete with the big ones. Because I think you don't have to have a huge budget in order to get great results. Don't work harder, work smarter. And exactly regarding digital marketing, it's definitely possible if you do it correctly that with even, I would say, with a normal budget, you can get really great results. Like just one example, if you are doing PPC campaigns correctly, Meta ads and Google ads, it's definitely possible because we have worked with several clients in the last couple of years where we have even reached 30, 40 times ROAS, which means from $1, you can make $30, $40. So it could be a great, it could be a really great tool, but you have to do it correctly. And first of all, you have to measure everything. What I say always in digital marketing, there is one point which absolutely doesn't matter. And this is personal opinion, not yours, not mine, not everybody else. The only thing which plays a huge role in digital marketing is data. You have to make data-driven decisions. And in order to make data-driven decisions, of course, you have to measure everything because we know exactly what you don't measure, you can't improve. So this is the basic line, I would say, from digital marketing, because I have tons of meetings, calls with e-commerce store owners, entrepreneurs as well. And very often I have to make the experience that unfortunately, they don't even know their own numbers. So actually, they don't even know why are they actually just on the same level for several years. They don't understand why can't they improve. And sometimes so simple is the reason that they don't really understand the reasons, the roots for that, because they don't know their own numbers.
And you know what, Krisztian, you bring up a very good point here. I think it goes even deeper because I can speak from personal experience. We don't often know how to connect the dots in digital marketing. Okay. So you look at Google Analytics and it gives you all this data, right? You can go on HubSpot and get all this data. You can go on all your podcast platform and get all this listener data and whatnot. How does it all link together is something, I mean, I'm not an advertising guy, so we don't know, right? And we often think that to really, you need advice from people. How do you bring all this together?
And it's also very important to note that you, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, of course, you don't have to be a digital marketing expert, which means you don't have to deep dive in data analytics and something like that. It's not necessary, but what you definitely have to understand, these are the main KPIs, the key performance indicators of your e-commerce store or of your business. You have to understand it. Otherwise, you don't even have the chance to validate the job, the work of the freelancers or of the agencies which you are working with.
Absolutely understand. So Krisztian, give us what are some KPIs that you would be advising people to look out for?
Very good question. So I would say the top 5 KPIs, which you just have to know, even if middle of the night, I just wake you up, tell me these 5 numbers, you have to know it.
Okay.
Let's start with the first one. Let's take e-commerce stores because I think it's a very, very common topic, e-commerce. Okay. First one, e-commerce conversion rate. Most important KPI, which means from 100 visitors, how many purchase, literally. The industry average is between 2 and 3%. Okay, that you have the chance to compare it. Of course, it's very dependent on your market, on your ICP's ideal customer profile.
So if you're a software company, it could be how many people hit the get more information button or schedule a demo, something like that?
Yeah,
would that be
absolutely.
The equivalent?
Yeah, it depends on what is your most important conversion goal.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, next one. Which are the most important traffic channels, traffic sources for you? From 2 points of view, which one generates the most visitors for you? And of course, which one generates the most revenue for you? Because it's even more important than the first part, because let's be honest, nobody has ever earned money from that they are just clicking on your site and they're just looking around. It's nice, but it doesn't deliver any business value.
Correct.
To be very honest.
Yeah.
Okay. If you are spending money And of course, you have to spend money, for example, on advertising, as you have also mentioned. Meta ads, Google ads, these are the main channels usually. You have to know the ROAS, return on ad spend, which means if you spend $1 for a Facebook ad or for a Google ads, how much revenue will it generate on your site or in your e-commerce store?
Okay.
It should reach at least 5, ideally 10 times ROAS. It should be your goal.
Wow.
Yeah. If it's much lower, actually you are doing something wrong, or maybe the agency or the freelancer is not targeting something correctly or adjusting the campaigns correctly, or something is wrong behind. Okay, next one, of course, average order value, which means, okay, somebody's purchasing one of your products in your e-commerce store, but how many products are they purchasing at the same time, and which products? If you have, for example, 10,000 products, of course, it plays a huge role if they purchase a $2 product or a $200 product. So average order value. And the fifth one, customer acquisition cost. Because
that's a big one. Okay.
Yeah, very important, because a lot of business owners, e-commerce store owners make the failure that they are just counting the clicks, the visitor. But just back again to the topic, it doesn't have any real business value. They are just looking around. It makes no sense. But if somebody literally purchasing by you, so it will be a customer, how much does this cost to you totally that you get them? Customer acquisition cost.
I don't know the answer to those 5 in my...
Do the math. Do the math.
I got to do the math.
It will help you so much to see it more clearer, the path for your business.
That's very sound advice. Now, getting to this deeper, like you mentioned, like the ad spend, return on ad spend. We are told often in the small and medium business world that Google ad spend is beyond your capability to be effective, because they say at best you could maybe do something regionally, but to rank anywhere or to be of material value nationally is impossible as a small company. What would you say to that, Krisztian?
In some cases, it can be true, but it really depends very strong on the niche, on your product, on the number of your competitors. So a lot of different factors. But we are in the lucky situation today that even before you start with your first campaign, you can do a market analysis. I mean, especially nowadays, we have a lot of even free AI tools. And with the help of them, you can make, for example, a kind of analysis to see how many competitors are, for example, let's take Google Ads, very simple example. How many brands, how many companies are already competing for the keywords which you are also competing for in order to get at the first 3 positions. And then you can start with math. And very important, if you are at the beginning on your business journey, and if you would like to start from scratch, just set up your first Meta ads or Google ads campaigns. Very important, start small. Test it, measure the results, and only afterwards start to scale it. Like, for example, if in the earlier time when I had my agency, we always told it to our clients, if you start with your PPC campaigns, just start very small with a budget like $400 per month. We don't need any more. Just start with that. Set up the first campaigns, measure the results, and based on the results, data-driven decisions, we can later on see which direction is correct for you. There is worth to scale, maybe double the budget for next month, or these campaigns won't work. Okay, we shut it down.
Krisztian, I was going to say, sorry to interrupt, the number that I had a fellow give me was spend $20,000 a month. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I can't make it up. Swear to God.
Okay, so maybe, to be honest, I don't know your market yet. Maybe it's a very overcompeted market, it could be the case. So I can imagine. I don't say it's definitely not possible, but to my experience, it's definitely not necessary at the beginning to start with 20K per month. You mean?
Okay.
I to be honest, I find it a little bit.
Well, I'm glad to hear that,
exaggeration.
because all our listeners, again, they're going to be very happy to hear that you don't, because a lot of people think this is a problem that is beyond their reach to really address.
No, I can
And
absolutely.
you're clearing up some myths today, so keep going. I'm sorry.
No. It's very important to note, because, to be honest, on the other side, what I can imagine also from my experience, that agencies, did you get this offer from an agency or this recommendation? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, they're a national firm that is like really ranked with Google and Meta and brokering. I guess these ads are brokered. I don't know how the business works, but
okay, but I can tell you that usually for the agency is the higher your budget, the better for them. Because, for example, a lot of agencies are working based that their fee is based on your budget. It means the higher you spend on your ads, the higher you pay for them for their service. So, of course, logically, they recommend you from the beginning to spend as much as possible, because this is their business model. So it sounds logically, not every time ethically, to be honest. So I don't want to say anything regarding this, but I have made also some experiences, of course, regarding this area at that time, because I knew also how other agencies work. But before you make such a decision, just look around on the market, because I'm pretty sure that, let's say, even if it's a very overcompeted market, your market,
okay,
that maybe even from $1,000 or $2,000 per month, could you start just testing in small? It actually, what I don't even understand, it doesn't make so much sense to spend too much money at the beginning, because at the beginning, you are just testing. You have hypotheses, you make assumptions.
Yep.
And after 2, 3, or even 4 weeks, you have the first results. I mean, especially nowadays, Google and Meta ads have such a complex algorithm that it takes usually at least 1, rather 2 weeks, the called learning curve, when the algorithm learns when should your ads be shown. So actually the first 1 or 2 weeks, nothing special happened. So therefore, I would definitely suggest start with much smaller budgets.
So, Krisztian, the algorithm, we often feel like we in the podcast are working for the algorithm, because as you heard me say, hit the like and subscribe, again, because it's
necessary. Yeah, of course.
It's necessary. So when you're doing a budget, or when you're thinking about doing some kind of an ad campaign, a PPC of some kind, is it geared with the psychology of the end customer in mind, or is it geared towards the algorithm? Like how do you craft it?
Actually, it's not so easy, because both of them are important.
No.
Unfortunately, both of them are important. But so generally, what we always analyze before we start the first campaigns, of course, these are the ads of your competitors.
Okay.
Because from that, we can draw already some conclusions, because if they are, I would say, for longer time on the market, they have usually better and bigger experience regarding this, what is working and what is not working. So we can assume that they don't run ads which are not converting high. So it makes definitely sense. Just look around, take a closer look on your competitors. What are they, for example, communicating in their ads? What are their main messages? How do they show it on different creatives? So I would definitely suggest it at the beginning to gather some experience from your competitors.
Okay.
Because it can give you some sense regarding what's working and what is not working. And of course, what I have mentioned before, for example, by keyword research, you can get actually exact data about that. For example, how big is the search volume for special keywords? How many are competing for the same keywords, or for example, by meta ads, you can even see the whole ads library from your competitors. So it's not a secret anymore.
Well, so I guess from an end consumer point of view or a purchaser point of view, what's different in the digital world? Because like if you walk into a shop, a lot of it is emotional. You like a shirt, you like a sweater, you like something. You didn't intend to buy it, but you're like, you know what? Those shoes look good. I'm going to buy those. I'm just going to buy it, right? In the digital world, that is, I would imagine that's not the case. What is the motivation for the buyers to draw them in or to capture them?
I love this question. Actually, I love it because from the psychological part, it's almost the same, because even in online area, 99% of purchase decisions will be made on emotional level.
Really?
Yeah. But
even corporate purchases.
Yes. But what a lot of people and business owners forget, and actually this quote is not from me, it's from Jeffrey Gitomi, the international master of sales. He said once that the number one reason why people don't buy from you is that they don't trust you. Trust is a very important factor, and especially in the online era. Because as you have mentioned, in the physical store, I can walk in, I can touch the product, I can ask personally the seller who is standing there something about the product. I have a lot of possibilities. You don't have it online. You cannot touch the product. You cannot talk personally to somebody. I mean, okay, there is an AI chatbot or even a human a chat possibility there, but it's not the same. So your most important task on a website or on the e-commerce store is to build trust to your visitors in order that they get to the point on their customer journey that they trust you enough to take their cards and purchase something from you. So trust building is a very, very, very important.
Okay.
Important goal.
What are the key elements of trust building?
So first of all, what I would definitely recommend that you show also yourself on your website or on your e-commerce store, because it could be very disappointing if there is, for example, no story about the company, no peoples are shown from the company, just a company address. And if I would like to contact you, just fill in this form. Nowadays, I think nobody likes the faceless companies because there are tons of them out there. But if they say also the people behind the scenes, it could definitely build trust because people buy from people. And the very, very simple proof for that is that, just think about it, even the biggest companies of the world who could say they don't need it anymore, even they hire somebody as a face. Just think of Nike and Michael Jordan, Nespresso and George Clooney. And a lot of other examples, because people can build relationships and trust regarding people. Of course, you as a small or middle-sized company, you can't afford it. But what you can definitely do, that you can show yourself, your history. Why did you establish the company? You can show your face, your name, because it builds trust, because it means for your visitors, okay, we can trust you, your company, and your products, because you are not ashamed to show yourself. If you don't show anything about yourself, it's still a little bit suspicious. You just want to sell to me something. And actually, another quote from Jeffrey Gitomi, I'm pretty sure you have heard about it yet already, that people hate it if you would like to sell them something, but they love to buy. It's a big difference.
It is a big difference. They want to arrive at that decision on their own.
Yeah. And back to your questions. So for example,
they want the flower. You need to put the flower out there so the bee will come on its own. That's it.
Yeah. And another possibility, back to your questions, to build trust, that for example, if you have an e-commerce store on the product page, don't forget, you have to show everything from your product. So for example, if you have just one simple picture with a white background, it tells nothing to your visitors. Show your products from different angles. The best one is if you can even make a video about it, that the visitors can better imagine how to use it in everyday life. Or, for example, especially nowadays with the help of AI, for example, also by Optimonk, there is the possibility we have this product page optimization features, which means that with the help of AI, you can show your product to your visitors how to use it in everyday life. Like, for example, if there is a small motorcycle, you can show it how does it look like if a child is sitting on that and riding with that. But there are tons of possibilities now with the AI, of course.
So this was another myth that you're going to break. As you know, there was a time when we were told you don't want a lot of media heavy content on the website because everybody is using it on the phone. If it takes too long to download or it doesn't display well, then they're just not going to use it and they're going to be very irritated. So is that, you're saying forget that, actually showcase it?
So I would say that maybe it was true 3 or 4 years ago, definitely.
Okay.
But nowadays, there are already such a technical solutions that even if you have nice pictures and nice videos, it still doesn't have any negative effect on the page load time. Because, of course, page load time is still important. That's definitely true. It's still very important. But, of course, the whole technology has improved dramatically in the last couple of years. And I would say that you should definitely find a gold middle way, that you show your visitors enough, but of course not too much information that it's overloaded from technical part and also not from informational part. I know it's not very easy, but the good news is that if you measure everything, you want to know what works and what not. Just one KPI again, which you can definitely monitor, the add to carts rate on your product page, because it's a very good sign for that. Is something not working on my product page or it's working well? Because if you have, let's just one example, a huge amount of traffic, visitors on your product page, but the add to cart rate is very low, it's definitely a sign for that something is not okay on your product page. People don't trust you, or maybe something is like a misconcept there. Something is possible to misunderstand there because they don't add the product to the cart.
I can probably guess there's a lot of people that they have people that monitor for them, but they don't know what that is. You know, the decision, they might not know exactly what, somebody in their organization knows what that number is, but they might themselves not know what that number is.
Or I have also an idea regarding this, which could be sometimes very useful.
Okay.
Nowadays, we have a lot of tools, some of them even absolutely free of charge, which you can use to monitor your visitors on your page, like Crazy Egg, Hotjar, Clarity.
Okay.
And if you connect it with your website or with your e-commerce store, you can generate heat maps. And even better, you have the possibility to watch the session recordings. I mean, I have watched hundreds of them in the last couple of years. And sometimes they are so useful. You can get such a valuable insights from that, how your visitors actually behave on your site. Where do they click? How do they scroll? How do they use actually your site? And for example, especially in this case, on the product pages, you can literally watch what's stopping them from adding the product to your cart. It could be really helpful. We call it qualitative analysis, which I definitely recommend. For example, at the beginning, if you just see that something is wrong, like for example, you have a very low e-commerce conversion rate in your store, and then you don't know the reason for that. You don't even have any idea about it. What could be the reason for that? Start with qualitative and quantitative analysis. Quantitative analysis, look at the data, make a data analysis. Maybe you're going to see there's some figures, some numbers which are not good enough. On the other part, do also a qualitative analysis, like, for example, install a kind of tool where you can watch the heat map and the session recordings. And based on these two inputs of information, you're going to have definitely at least 4, 5, 6, or even more ideas what to improve on your site or on your e-commerce store.
So how do you get into the mind of the buyer? That to me is like when people come to your website and they're, again, I'm going to speak to my personal experience, so please forgive it if it was unique or if it was wrong. But when we were looking at our website, we were told you got to have call to actions everywhere, constantly. I personally found that annoying. That every time I'm there, someone keeps hitting me with get info, sign up newsletter, get info, ask for a quote. I'm like, God damn it, this is shitty. I just want to know how you work. Tell me about what you do and why do I care? That's the most important thing. What are you going to do for me? I don't even care what you do. I don't even care if you think you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. I could give a shit.
You have just one question. What is in it for me?
That's it. That's all I want to know.
Actually, for everybody the same. The only part which are interested people, what are your solution for the problem? What are your answer for the questions? If you can't deliver it, you are just boring for them. And I think it's everybody the same. And that's exactly the reason you have a very good point regarding this, because it's even for me a very important topic, that this is exactly the reason number one why people started to hate pop-ups. But let's be honest, pop-up is just a tool. It's like a knife. Is a knife good or bad? Well, it depends on. You can kill somebody with it, or you can even rescue a life. It depends on who is using it. And it's the same with a pop-up. You can make it really annoying, as you have also explained. So I hate it as well. When I arrive on a website, I didn't have the chance to look around, and in just 2 seconds already pops up, you want to get 10% discounts. For what? I don't even know what are your products. Why should I need any coupon code? Sorry. Please give me a chance. Just give me time to look around. And also other tons of examples, as you have also mentioned, that, for example, afterwards, during my browsing, every 10 seconds is something popping up. Of course, it's annoying, but it's not the fault of the tool. It's the fault of the people who are using it. Because to answer your questions, how can you get in the mind of your customers, of your clients? Try to read in the mind, listen to them, pay attention to them, and think in customer journey. Just very, very easy example. For example, for your pop-ups, you should definitely adjust it that, for example, it shouldn't shown up for visitors who didn't have spent at least 30 seconds on your site. Give them time. Or you can adjust it that it should be shown only for exit intent. If they try to leave your site, just try to one more time to grab them, but not at the moment when they are arriving, because they're interested, curious, they would like to just gather some information, just look around. Don't interrupt them in this movement. Or, for example, you should adjust that the same message, the same pop-up should be shown for the same person only 2 times, and between the 2 occasions should be at least 2 or 3 hours, that you don't show them in the same session. And a lot of other possibilities. Or another example, if somebody has already signed up to your newsletter, please don't show them again the same pop-up. Would you like to sign up for our newsletter? Because nowadays it's so simple. Just make one adjustment and it won't be any more shown to somebody who has already signed up for the newsletter, right? And I mean, it's really not a very difficult topic. It's not space physics, really. Just think about it. Just very simple human logic.
What about AI chatbots? They're all the rage these days, right? We got to have a chatbot on our front page. Should that? Because it seems like they pop up. They're always there, right? They're constantly visible, and they're saying, "Can I help you? Can I help you look for something?" Would you suggest that those be not so intrusive and just allow the browsing to take place, and then maybe a minute later come and ask a question? Or I'm curious.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I think definitely the AI chatbots are useful or could be useful, because in a lot of cases, when the visitor has a question, they want to have the answer immediately. They don't want to wait. They don't want to write an email anymore. They don't want to call you usually. Nobody has time for that. They have a question. They would like to get the answer immediately. So regarding this, I think an AI chatbot could be absolutely useful. But once again, it's just a tool. So make the setup, make the adjustments correctly. Like as you also mentioned, okay, one time it can pop up. May I help you? But if, for example, a visitor closes it, don't bother them again. Just give them the possibility that it's less intrusive, that anytime if they would like to use the chatbot, just click on this button here and then they can start the conversation. But don't annoy them anymore.
Interesting. It's fascinating when you compare the digital world to the physical world. There seems to be some real differences here than in how you interact. Because like if you're at a show, somebody comes to your booth, or you're at a conference, that's a different means of interacting, a different way of interacting. It's a much more personal approach. They already have some idea of what maybe you're about, and they're coming to you as an educated person. Versus the digital world, they don't know anything about you. They might have just stumbled onto you through your ad or through some link or a Google search or something like that, right? So it seems to be a totally different psychology.
Absolutely. And actually what I really think that in the digital world are people much more impatient. So in the physical world, like you have mentioned as an example, on a live exhibition, if they come to your booth, they definitely give you time to make a conversation. In the digital world, nobody has so much time. Actually, there even exists already the 5-second rule. Do you know that?
Oh, I thought it was 8 seconds. That's what I had. It was like,
oh, it's a long time ago. Oh, 8 seconds. Nobody has 8 seconds anymore. Nowadays, just 5 seconds. 5 seconds.
5 seconds.
In 5 seconds, if you don't show your visitor that you have solution for the problem, you have the answer for the question, they just leave you. You have lost them already. 5 seconds.
Okay, so then in that 5 seconds, what would be the most important thing you lead with in the digital world? What should be the first thing I guess it doesn't matter what your business is. What should happen there then?
There should happen that in 5 seconds, you should be able just make a little hook in the mind of your visitors to ensure them that you will be the right person who can deliver them a solution for the problem. If you are able to do it in 5 seconds, then they move forward and they click somewhere, they scroll down, or something happens, any interactions. But this should be your main goal. That's the reason, for example, why I don't understand why to use this very worthy, really valuable 5 seconds for showing them a coupon code in the first 5 seconds. I mean, it's just wasted time. Or even, for example, start with, as you have also mentioned, the story of our company, not in the first second. Later on, if they are already on the customer journey and they have already the hook in their mind and they are interested and they start gathering information about you, about your service, about your products, then you can something tell them about your story, but not at the beginning, not in this critical 5 seconds.
So you really got to think about what that hook is then. And you need something differentiated, something different.
That's the reason why you should know very deep and very exactly your ICP, really, your ideal customer profile. Because I hear it very often from business owners, for e-commerce owners, and that is a big failure. If I ask them, okay, who is your ICP? Who do you sell to? And if the answer is, yeah, to anybody.
That's the wrong answer. That's
a very wrong answer. If you sell to anybody, you sell to nobody. We know it.
Yeah.
We know it.
Or so my other favorite is they say, we don't have any competitors.
Yeah, it's also good. It's also good. Yeah, it's also good. Absolutely.
So we're so unique, we have no competition. I'm like, well, then you really don't have any business either. So, but that's...
Yeah, that's definitely. So you have to know your ideal customers as close as your own friends. How do they think? What do they do? What kind of hobbies they have, activities? Where do they gather their informations? What are their favorite websites, newsletters, whatever?
See, Krisztian, if they do that though, there's a real fear here. And that fear is that I'm leaving money on the table. They're like, well, that person could have been my customer, maybe. They're chasing that maybe, versus if you take a brutally hard look at yourself and say, what customers do I genuinely service? And that niche is only this big, and that is where I'm going to really focus everything. There's this perception that, am I leaving money on the table then? I'm not going to grow so fast, and I'm not going to, I could have been much more business, but now I have very little.
It's also a very good point of view. But regarding this, what I can say, that's the reason why you have to do the math. Because if your profit margin is high enough, and there is definitely a demand for your product, and there is a very good product market fit, even from a very thin market niche, you can build a really good business.
Oh, heck yeah. I mean...
And
you get it.
Also the opposite is true. So if you have not a good profit margin, and if you try to target on a broad market part, then it's still possible that at the end of the day, it's actually just 5% which remains to you as a profit margin, or not even that. So I have seen a lot of other cases as well in my experience.
That's there's a lot to learn here. I'm glad you're giving some knowledge and educating the entire base on this. What I want to get into, because we're almost coming to some time, I want to make sure that you get to talk about Optimonk. Tell us a little bit about your company. What exactly are you guys doing?
Yeah, so actually Optimonk has started 12 years ago. I would say just as a normal pop-up tool, but with the time we have discovered that it's definitely not enough to stay in this overcrowded e-commerce space. So we have developed and added other features to our software as well, like for example built-in A/B testing, which is also very important, of course. And nowadays I would say we are a very comprehensive AI-based CRO tool for conversion rate optimization, especially for e-commerce stores, but also for other websites as well. But the biggest value where we can deliver, these are definitely e-commerce stores. And nowadays, approximately 30,000 websites and the e-commerce stores are already using Optimonk worldwide.
Fantastic. Now, is this primarily enterprise companies, or is Optimonk usable by the small and medium business?
Absolutely. I would say rather small and medium-sized businesses, because we have even a free forever plan just to look around, just to test it. And the smallest package monthly plan starts by $30, which is, I think,
that's not
absolutely affordable. And actually, I think this is exactly the tool which can help you, as we have started our conversation, to bring more value, to bring more money, to bring more revenue out from your existing traffic. Because this is actually what conversion rate optimization is about. Instead of scaling your campaigns, instead of increase your budgets and spending more money on ads, try to do something with your existing traffic, because this is the real smart way to improve your business. And this is exactly where, for example, CRO, conversion rate optimization, helps you. And actually, with the help of AI, now Optimonk is a fully automated tool which can help you without developer needs.
Okay. So, Krisztian, do you also have a consulting arm, or is there?
Absolutely.
How do you get you or someone with your knowledge to actually provide guidance?
So we have a good news actually regarding this, that of course some years ago we have also discovered that it's definitely not enough just to offer a nice tool, a nice software, because it's great and excellent, but the learning curve is of course usually long. So exactly from this reason, now we have in-house also a dedicated service team with CRO experts, which means that they are very happy to support you at the beginning by the onboarding, which means that we can even analyze your website or your e-commerce store. Based on our experience, we put together a custom tailored solution plan. Which campaigns would we recommend to you? So you have something, a kind of action plan, how to start. And even by the setting up campaigns, have we now a big help. It's a very new feature, actually. We have just launched it 2 months ago. We have the AI editor. I mean, also the original version, it's not so difficult with drag and drop system. But now we are on level 2. AI editor means it's a kind of white coding, which means you just have to tell literally to our built-in AI what you would like to do. How would you like to target your campaigns? How would you like to set it up? And it makes for you. You have your own AI assistant in Optimonk.
Interesting. So, and I assume people can go to your website and do a demonstration of this?
Absolutely. So just go to optimonk.com, then just sign up for a free Optimonk account. That's all. And then during the onboarding system, one of my colleagues from the support team, customer success team, he's gonna contact you and happy to help you at the beginning to set up your first campaigns, to deliver the first results as soon as possible, because we know it exactly. Nowadays, not the big fish is eating the small fish anymore, but the fast fish, the slow fish.
That's interesting. I have not heard that before.
No, not? I have heard it several times already, and I really love it because it's true.
I love the because it's always the big fish eats the small fish.
Now it's changed. So time factor is very important to act as quick as possible. So that's the reason that we are also developing even our own tool, our own software regarding this, that we can make for our users, for our clients, the whole system, the whole workflow as fast as possible, that they don't have to spend weeks with it to build up their campaigns. Nobody has so much time anymore.
Very interesting. Well, Krisztian, this has been a fascinating conversation. We're already at the hour.
I really enjoyed it.
I don't think we got very deep into a lot of things, but there were certainly a lot of myths that you addressed. And, I think the biggest, I would say to our listeners, especially if you are an emerging market company, digital marketing is something you can leverage very aggressively. You don't have to have a giant budget, and you can, reach out to Krisztian. So Krisztian, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
So firstly, through the optimonk.com website, there is also a dedicated page for partnerships. And there is also my calendar link if you would like to schedule a call with me, or just very easy through LinkedIn. I know my name is not so easy, Krisztian Kiraly, but maybe you can just put my name below the video. And if you contact me through LinkedIn, I'm also happy to help you, of course.
Well, thank you so much, Krisztian. It was a pleasure talking to you. And if
Really
you have
enjoyed
new
it.
digital marketing ideas and things, please come back and share them with us.
I'm happy anytime. Thank you very much.
Thank you.